Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, I'm flying the Britten-Norman Islander. This is the Blackbox simulations aircraft on a round trip from here in Oban, flying up to Islay, then to Colonsay, and then back to Oban. So earlier in the week, as you guys may know, that I went to Scotland myself, and actually flew on this airline on a round trip out in the Western Highlands. So it was a very exciting flight, very exciting trip. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to do a video on that as well at some point soon, so I need to kind of, I've got all the files and stuff, and just kind of edit it and then put it all together and scramble. So that will be probably next week, Wednesday, Thursday time. Otherwise, yeah, today take flights in the Hebridean Islander today. So should be a fun little flight. Hopefully all goes to plan. It's an aircraft I bought a couple of days ago. I've learned the basics. I kind of know how to fly it, so hopefully nothing will go too out of the ordinary. So we'll jump in the cockpit, set the aircraft up, and prepare ourselves for our flights today. Welcome Rev, welcome Mido, welcome Benji, welcome Northern Railway, welcome Alaska, Lewis and Noah. Trip went well, I've Geek, thank you very much, and welcome Connel, Bute. Right, battery on, and we will also set the nav lights. We will go to the panel. Won't do any of that just yet, that's fine. So this orange just start switch over here, fuel valves left and right. We'll go to the Avionics and probably just start setting up the aircraft's trip today. So Avionics master comes on, make sure this is set to on. So use the standard GNS3 530 system. I am using a mod for this, a mod from FlightControlReplay to kind of improve the aircraft systems a bit. And while I'm not I'm not super expert at it, hopefully I know enough to get the aircraft going. Aircraft's from the Blackbox website, Kangaroo, off the Blackbox website. Group flights, no, it's not a group flight. I'm not on IVAL today, as ultimately the place I'm going to won't be able to handle the traffic, so just an offline flight today, no use of IVAL. So, first waypoint is going to be Echo Golf Papa India. Whoops, go back. So Echo Golf Papa India. So Islay is our first stop, enter that and activates. Go to the flight plan page. What I'm going to do now is enter our departure airport. I know there's probably the back to front way of doing things, but as I'm not the most expert of the 530 system, as long as it works, that's what matters. So it'll be Echo Golf followed by our departure, which is Echo Oscar. So that sends us back to North Connell Oban, enter that and execute. So, North Connell, Islay, next week Colonsay, which is Echo Golf, Echo Yankee. Echo Yankee. Whoops, there's a 5 there. No, I've got a 5 there. Echo Golf, Echo Yankee. And then finally, our last waypoint, which will be our departure airports of Echo Golf, Echo Oscar. Perfect, so enter that, that's complete. If we go back to the map page, you can now see that we've got a little triangle formed on the map here. We'll zoom out, so depart from Oban, fly down south to Islay, up to Colonsay, and then back to Oban. Sure, not a long little flight, it's like an hour and 10 minutes of flying today, so it's not exactly a long little trip this, but it should cover a fair bit of ground within that time. We are flying on Volanta, so if you want to check our flight, you can do so on Volanta. Otherwise, we will probably now start with the passenger boarding process. Not that there's much to board in a Islander. In fact, should I open the doors perhaps? I think you can from within the aircraft. If I go to the left hand side, open a window, can do that. Open the door. Behind us, we've got a door at the back, which we can open. That's the cargo hatch. You can open that door, and then that door will leave closed, because what I'm going to do is try and set up the passenger numbers as well to what I flew in the real world. So on the outbound flight, it was only just myself, so it was actually a little private flight, myself in the aircraft with the pilots at the front. The second leg, so Islay to Colonsay, had 2 passengers on board. Then from Colonsay back to Oban, I think we had about 7 people on board. So we did get an almost full house on the return flight. But the first leg, it was just going solo, me and the pilots alone. So, let's set that up, shall we? Start of flights, next page. We'll put that from that. So yes, Echo Golf Echo Oscar to our first destination, which is Colonsay, Echo Golf Papa Yankee. Whoops, don't want that. Echo Golf Papa India even. HUR 307, cruising altitude, won't quite get 9,000. I think we'll do probably 5,000 for this. Oh, did you live in Islay, Jonathan? Very nice. It's pronounced Isla. Is it? Isla. Islay, Isla. Have I been saying that wrong the whole time? Well, I'm going to remember that now. Hope to try and kind of dub my vlog for that. Whoops. Well, thanks for letting me know, dude. So, the first leg of this flight, this was approximately, I've got the time on here. So, in terms of scheduled flight time, Isla, I remember that. So positive flight time. So this was approximately go back. Somewhere I've got a little like a clock. Duration 40 minutes. So his first leg was 40 minutes. And departure in approximately, well, I've said 1:45, so we're saying what, 15 minutes. Won't need 15 minutes, but we're doing 15. We're not quite a Concorde, I don't think. I think we're more of an Islander, BN-2B Islander. And this one is opposed to one passenger on board, because again, first leg was myself and a passenger. From shit, no Wi-Fi, no entertainment, no body music. We don't have a safety briefing, but I'm going to hit Hebridean anyway, because what we do is we do the briefing outside the aircraft. So you get the basic safety jacket and open door if you've got an emergency, you can't get out, use the window. So that's all done outside the aircraft, and therefore in the aircraft will just be silence. There's no snacks, there's no meal service, it's bare bones aircrafts. Let's get boarding, shall we? Not that boarding doesn't take very long at all. So yeah, he'll just jump on board. And then, yeah, that's about it really. Boarding complete. So it's a 9-seater aircraft. You have 8 seats at the back and then 1 on the right side of the pilot. You first use the 8 seats at the back, and only if the aircraft's full and you've 9th passenger, then you'll sit on the right hand side. But that's kind of like a spare backup seat just in case you do need the extra space. So, yeah, let's close the doors now. If I can even get to the door. There we go. Do the same for the rear. Grab a hold of the door. Close the cargo hatch. Close the door, perfect. And let's prepare this aircraft for the pod, shall we? So we'll make sure we're on Unicom 122-800. I'm not actually on Unicom today, on my bad today. I'm not actually going to use ATC. Basically, because if everyone starts flying, imagine 737s at this airport won't quite do it. And it's not an aircraft that a lot of people have, the Islander, so if stay on the safe side, we'll stick it on Unicom, just leave it at that. That's looking fine. That should be alright. Altitude, we won't use autopilot today, we'll do it all by hand, so we'll leave that blank. Set you to, we'll leave on standby, I'll activate you later, but we'll leave that later. Leave that to 2000. Well, it's not really getting at 2 there, but okay, we'll set it to 2000. We measure those as max, that's all good. Set the throttle to about 10% indents. We're going to activate the engine number 2 first, so fuel pumps on, fuel valve on. We're only going to start on the number 2 magneto, so we'll do that. Quick look around, make sure that the props are clear. We'll shout, clear prop, just to make sure no one's around. Open the starter, and start the engine number 2. If you have a look, the oil pressure will slowly crawl into the green. We can apply a little bit of throttle if we need to, just get that RPM up a bit, so about 1000 RPM should do us fine. So there you go, if your oil pressure just kind of get into that green now, so that looks grand. We now do the same for engine number 1, so fuel valve and fuel pump on. Also start the number 2 magneto now. Put magneto number 2. Quick check, make sure everything is clear, and then activates number 1. Engine active and stable, magneto comes on. All looking good. Close that. We'll cut the fuel pumps now, don't require those until later. Going to put a little bit of throttle in, get sure the aircraft is stable, all looking good, make sure everything's in the green. Now check the fuel amounts. In terms of fuel on board, we've got Yeah, got plenty full on board today. It's just over 30 in each tank. That's all looking good. That's all looking good. So yes, and also fuel pumps both in the fuel tanks both in the active position. Right. What I actually forgot to do was to activate the beacon lights. We're also going to set the strobe lights while we're at it. How about that's all set. Cabin lights, we don't really need them for now. Instrument lights, we have got instrument lights if we need them. Put the yoke back in place, please. Going to release the parking brake. I'm going to make our way over to the active runway. So it's runway 19 in use right now in Oban. So hard shot 19. Just do a quick visual check, make sure that the aircraft, well, the active runway is clear. So there's no aircraft on approach on the left-hand sides. No aircraft on approach on the right-hand sides. Runway looks clear. So we're going to activate the landing lights and strobe lights. Landing lights on. Make pass lights. That's all active. That's all active. To activate the generator if we need to. We'll also activate the anti-icing. Bring the yoke back into place. Let's head to the runway, shall we? So we'll taxi to the end of 19, or then do a... So we're going to backtrack around 19. We're going to backtrack around 19. We'll then loop around, and then taxi back down the runway. It's a BN-2 Islander. Gustav, this is a BN-2 Islander. Britten-Norman aircraft built in the UK. This particular one, Golf Hotel Echo Bravo Sierra, built in 1994. Had a couple of owners, but now solely owned by Hebridean. When are we doing 2 flights? Not sure, are they? We're doing a Hebridean flight at the moment, so we're actually doing 3 flights today. Only short little flights, but we are doing 3 flights today. Right, so I'm going to loop around into position. Like I say now, this is a very pretty flight. I did it in real life on Wednesday. Sorry, on Thursday actually. It was on Thursday I went. So hopefully Microsoft Flight Sim scenery will even come close to what we saw in real life. Right, there's a whole position here. One, two, stable. Off we go. Speed active. 60 knots. 80 knots. Rotate. Keep the aircraft steady. So no raising landing gear on this. Landing gear is static, so we'll leave them down. Make a right hand turn. Increase our flaps. I'm going to climb to an altitude of about 5,000 feet to this first leg. So following the magenta line, just get us almost direct to our destination airport today. Just the trim to keep the aircraft on a nice stable bit of climb here. In terms of prop drift, the aircraft does bank slightly to the right, but it's not massively notable. You should be quite alright with the aircraft as a stable flying platform. X-Plane 11 is pretty good, Kangaroo. I do quite like X-Plane, but for me, Microsoft Flight Sim, probably my main platform at the moment. So I've just passed, sorry, the Connel Bridge, that's over there. to our left hand side, we're just about to fly over Oban. So that's the town I was staying in on the coast. Very beautiful place. Actually, I highly recommend it. If you're ever in the UK and need a place to stay, go to Oban. Definitely worth a visit. Make sure the window's open still. Yeah, definitely worth a visit, Oban. Highly recommended. You've got the harbour down below. You've got the train station just there. And my hotel kind of out there-ish. Also, you've got McCaig's Tower, which just sits over there on top of the top of the town. It was built by a guy named McCaig in the 1800s. He did a lot in the city, kind of building it all up and modernising it. And essentially, he died before it could be completed, and nobody else ever continued the construction. So it's an incomplete tower. It was meant to be like the Colosseum of the of Oban, but it never was completed. And ultimately, the guy died before it could even be completed. Something I found out on the SEAL tour, which I did also on the on Thursday. Also, there's a cathedral somewhere down there. Also, but by the same guy who built the Battersea Power Station in London. Again, a little fun fact I learned while I was out there. There's a lot you kind of know on these little trips. A lot of history, a lot of facts. It is all pretty fun, this. So we're going to make a left-hand turn now, just to get ourselves back on course, essentially. Gone a little bit to the Colonsay path there, and get ourselves back onto the Islay path. We'll zoom out if we need to, just kind of see the flight plan ahead of us. It's not a difficult little trip, this. Which purchased on the Blackbox website, so you can only get it on the Blackbox website, the Islander. Oh yeah, the aircraft was louder, Klopp. The aircraft was definitely loud. So Hebridean, if you go to the seat backs, they provide you with a set of earplugs you can put on the aircraft. So they have got earplugs, you can put them on free of charge when you're on board. There is autopilot rev, but I'm not using it today. No need to use it, it's only a short little flight. Will I stream later again today? Not today, Charlie. I'm working tonight, so doing a morning stream and then off to work afterwards. Going home from Gibraltar tomorrow. Staying at the place been through times and everything else. I mean, I'm going to do Gibraltar one day. I'm not sure when I'll do it, but I think this year is just a year of domestic travel for me. I'm not going to leave the British Isles as a whole. I'm going to stay domestic and explore a few more places. I've got a flight to Inverness later this year. I've got a flight down to Channel Islands later this year. And that's pretty much all I've got booked as of now. So I said 5,000 cruise. I think actually we're pretty good with 3,000 as our altitude. Don't need any higher than this. Yes, I did fly to Scotland, and you do have to wear a mask, Barker. Yes, it's part of aviation law in Europe. You do need to wear a mask when flying. So I flew up to Glasgow, and then the return trip, I then took a train. So I took a sleeper train down. So I went there. I went to train station Thursday night, woke up in London Friday morning, took the sleeper train down. Yeah, green list countries I'm still iffy about, Klopp. I'd rather go for the blue list, which is the common travel area. So England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Republic of Ireland, if and when they change their rules as well. So for me, it's going to be so Channel Islands, Orkney Islands, and Isle of Man. That's a common travel area. That's kind of where I'm going to stick around this year. So we're up at cruise. It's a nice and stable platform, the Islander. And again, I do adore the set of aircrafts. So in terms of what they operate in Hebridean, they do two sets of routes. They do well, for tourists at least, they do a scenic flight, which is a 30-minute trip from Oban around the area, with a few things like castles and locks and that kind of stuff. Following back at Oban, they do a second flight, which is the Sightseeing Flight, which is what I did. And essentially, because this is a public service route that connects to the islands, for tourists, you have to book them later on. So you get so 5 days before you fly, you can phone up Hebridean and say, I'm going to be there on this date, do you have any seats available? It costs £80, they both cost £80, and what it does is it takes you on an itinerary of either Oban, Colonsay, Oban, Islay and how do you say Colonsay? Is the guy still there? Colonsay, is that also pronounced right? Every Islander, it's Hebridean. Hebridean, jeez, well, I'm learning a lot today, so Islay, Hebridean, oh gosh. See, where all I ever knew. I'll wait for you to say Colonsay in the chat before I say it again. So you do that, or you can do Oban, Col, and I think it's Tiri is the other airport for going out to Oban. So there's 2 itineraries you can do, and those you can book only 5 days before the actual flight itself. So right, here we go. Right, Jonathan, thank you very much, Jonathan. So it's Islay, Hebridean, and what's the other one? The other airports I'm flying to. I wish I knew stuff before I travelled, because now I'm going to have to kind of read. Because I did a vlog when I travelled, where I've going to pronounce all the names wrong, so I'm going to have to kind of dub over my vlog to Colonsay, there we go. Right, so that's another one I've gone completely messed up. Okay, so Islay, Hebridean, Colonsay. Islay, Hebridean, Colonsay. Islay, Hebridean, Colonsay. Okay, we'll get there in the end. Yeah, it's a very, very scenic little flight, this. Absolutely adored it. So I've done the this route. I think next time I'll go back to this place. I'll try and do the second itinerary, which takes us out to the west. Favourite scenery in the game? Not too sure. Okay, there's quite a few scenes I do quite adore. In terms of the actual nature and outdoors bit, this is pretty good actually. This is pretty good. Compared to what I've seen in real life, Microsoft done a very, well, Sobo have done a very grand job at recreating it. And so, yeah, there's quite a bit I do like out here. Thoughts on the Phoenix 320? It's exciting, Dan. It is exciting. It's a pay-aware aircraft, the pay-aware 320. But the level of systems that they've got in it so far does look rather good, so we'll see how it goes. It'll do a little while before it releases, but when it does release, I will definitely be checking it out, have a look at it, see how it all works. Hopefully it's well, hopefully it will be a groundbreaking aircraft. Like I say, so far looks so good on the development side of things, and so I just gotta wait to see how it kind of looks on release. There's a few confusing names in Channel Islands too. Favourite scenery, just wait to get in deeper Gaelic names and even stump me. Yeah, because that's what you get. So a lot of Scotland and Ireland as a whole, it's a lot more Gaelic, even Wales, it's a lot more Gaelic, which is more traditional English as per going back to the Anglo-Saxon era than it is modern English, which is Latin. So English as we know it was more introduced by the Romans. Before then, it was more Gaelic with the Anglo-Saxons, but it was the Latin introduction that the Romans brought over that kind of saw language transform into modern English we see today. But I do quite find, well, yeah, you go to Scotland, especially in these more rural places, all the signage is both English and Gaelic, and so you can see how similar the two languages are, but at the same time, how one is so different to the other. It's like station. They're both pronounced the same way, but the spelling is so different, you wouldn't even believe it was the same word. I see Klopp here, just talking about unrated stuff. Welcome, Jig Friday, how you doing? Welcome channel, welcome to the chat, how are you today? In terms of the seat I had, I was in this seat right here. Ultimately, being the first and only passenger on board, it was kind of a weight balancing trick. So you had the pilots at the front, left-hand side. I then went to the right, kind of the middle, right-hand side to balance the weight out. But as the flight went on, a few more people kind of occupied the seats, so it's kind of busier from there. And as per standard, masks on, and be seated all flights because there's nowhere to stand up and walk around. Although it was surprisingly comfy, the aircraft was wider than kind of you'd expect. But no, massive credit to the Hebridean staff, very approachable, very good to talk to. The flight was excellent. We're on the first leg, flight fan. We're on the first leg, so we're going from Oban to Islay right now. The whole flight's Hebridean 37, so 37 is the flight number for all the legs. And we just kind of go from there. I will buy the Phoenix, yes, I will be on the Phoenix. I mean, it's going to be a high fidelity A320, so it makes sense that I'll go pick it up. Gonna fly to the left slightly there because we've got the two peaks of. I got their names down. The two peaks of Bynor, something like that. That's kind of this Jura Bynor, something like that. And that's on the well, just to the north of Islay itself, which is kind of just behind this. Second it's not found as you can ride, that's because the waypoint doesn't exist. So check your nav data, make sure that your SimBrief data is the same as your flight sim data. If it doesn't exist, just skip it, cancel and skip it to the next waypoints. So usually English names are for a West Coast place, is how coming to the area thought locals said, rather than a true translation. Oh, okay. So English names for a West Coast place is how people coming to the area thought the locals said, rather than true translation. Okay, interesting. And so that kind of explains then why pronunciations are similar, but the way they're kind of laid out, completely different. So that's the Paps of Drawyah. Yes, Paps, another word you come to learn in this place. They're not peaks, they're paps. They're not lakes, they're locks. What other words are there, which again... It's not yes and no, it's I or nigh. Nigh can I understand you? That's my favourite go-to phrase when someone starts talking to me out here. We're kind of tipping onto that yellow portion of the airspeed now, so I'm going to cut the throttle back a tad a little there. Again, just adjust the trim, keep the aircraft flying level straight, but you don't want to go too fast. Glenn's Valley, yes, that's it. If you go to Flower Scotland, Wee Hill and Glen, so that's Hill and Valley. That's it, wee, little, or small. Yes, so it'd be the same for first thing that's not found. If the waypoint doesn't exist, then that means your data's mismatched. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator, Chung, but it also exists for X-Plane as well. So if you've got any flight sim, Blackbox Simulations have released the Islander for both. So that's your choice to already download the platform. Now, based on the weather, well, it has fogged up a little bit. So that's something that does happen in this region, where the weather, especially being west coast on the Atlantic, you can get a low fog over the region. We will kind of be able to spot the Colonsay airports to our right hand sides. That doesn't seem to, well, I say that, cloud cover definitely exists over there, so we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed, we won't have too many problems with landing today. So on the left, that's the Mull of Kintyre between Drawyah and Islay. Stretch of water called the Sound of Islay. Thank you, Jonathan. So how long were you living in this region for? Do you still live there now, or have you since moved away? I can imagine living out here would have been an absolute, well, fantasy basically. It's such a beautiful, beautiful region, this. Let me also try and get some replays done. So we'll record the landings and the replays and all that, but we won't actually watch them until we get back to Oban. So I'll kind of do all the flights, and then when we land, we'll do all the replays for the arrivals, because again, the approach, especially from the passenger point of view, should be pretty fantastic. We can do Caribbean island hopping. I believe there is an airline that operates islanders out there at Avgeek, so it's certainly a possibility. Air Antilles and Air Caribbean, yes, those are the ones. And also, I think they in St Martin, there's two airports. You've got the south main airport, Princess Juliana, and the north airport as well, which you actually have to kind of backtrack in reverse on, which is quite interesting. So you also have the possibilities to try and do one of those. What's good? Well, got back from holiday HK. Now I'm flight sim again. Thoroughly enjoying this. So you've lived in the area twice in your life for a number of years, and now you're near Stirling. Okay, so you're now more central Scotland. Honestly, I've never. Oh, actually, to be fair, what what jobs do you get out here as well? It's probably all agriculture. So you're a farmer or a fisherman, and maybe one of like 3 tourist people in the island as well, tour guides and stuff. Like, yeah, I can imagine that career-wise, there's not really much out in the islands. So whereabouts are the Hebrides then? Because I hear when I was there, a lot of people whiskey distilleries on pretty much every single one of these islands. So I hear a lot of reference to the Outer Hebrides when I was out in this area. But what region is the Outer Hebrides? I know this is part of Argyll and Bute Council. Argyll and Bute's the local area. But I also hear a lot about the Hebrides, which I don't quite get an idea of where that was geographically. There's 9 distilleries on Islay, 1 on Drawyah. Okay. Yeah, it's another thing, because again, in Scotland, everyone drinks pretty much morning till evening out here. So yes, whiskey's another big business. So the runway we're landing on will be the easterly runway. So it'll be runway, I think it's 10, the number is out here. I'll have to double check the flight plans. So Ireland is the most southern of the Hebridean Islands, and that's the inner Hebrides. Okay, right, so this is the inner Hebrides, and then the further out, so for example, Barra, would that then be an outer island, would it? Stornoway, Western. Okay, so the whole region is the Hebrides, you've got inner and outer. Okay, right. Oh, thanks for letting me know. So we're now slowly getting closer to our first stop today. So the outer Hebrides run the Northern Islands, so Lewis and Barra. Okay. Because I know that Loganair operates Barra flights from from Glasgow. That's £80 fixed price. And definitely one I'm going to try and do at some point in the near future as well. So in terms of the airfield, it looks like we're pretty much fine for cloud cover today. We should be alright. Yeah, I can see the airfields. There's no clouds over it, so our first landing will be pretty much spot on. Considering pronunciations, perhaps Air Onti, really? Onti? It's just like Captain Antilles from Star Wars, it's Onti. This is why I should check myself before I do videos on them. There's also some parts to commuted to Corsair, France, Caribs, also through 50s. Okay, interesting. A350s. It's not a long flight for those things, I must say. Alright, so I'm going to follow the coastline down. And that brings us onto a direct path onto the runway. So I'm going to reduce the throttle ever so slightly. Won't do flaps just yet, but I'll have to get the aircraft onto a steady rate of descent. 1970s, there used to be daily routes from Glasgow to Machrihanish. I'm again probably horribly wrong. Then to Islay, then on to Barra, then Bacula, and then finally Inverness. Okay, what aircraft would that have been in then? Probably a Hawker Siddeley 478. Sorry, 748. Perhaps 1970s. And of course, to be short enough to land on these runways. But then Barra, what could operate on Barra? It'd be even smaller then, wouldn't it? Do you remember the which airline it was and which aircraft they would have operated for this trip? Oh yeah, it's getting much better with every update, Niranjan. Much better with every update. Plus, the upcoming update 5, which will see a 60% performance increase. And that's without DirectX 12, so hopefully we'll see even further improvements later on. Alright, going to cut throttle even further now. I'm going to start a left-hand side descent. Flaps 1. Yeah, so whatever your performance is right now, increases by 60, and that's what we can get from the 27th, so actually in 2 days' time. It's a big update, one that a lot of us are very excited for, seeing the aircraft, or the sim actually improve stability-wise, almost twofold. So it's a Hawker Siddeley Viscount, sorry, and then a Skytran. Okay, Skyvan. Man, that's a bit of a downgrade, that. So that's the Skyvan. I can tell you now, the aircraft's probably since it has had its curtains removed. They certainly weren't there when I flew. Also, lighting panels on the roof, not on the sides. The interior I can imagine slightly different over the years. Alright, so nice and stable approach, 2 reds, 2 whites, so bang on the pappies there. The wind's coming from the west, yes, but they are very, very light winds at the moment. There's no real impact on the aircrafts. So we'll take the same approach we did in real life, basically. And so up in Colonsay, we actually did both departure and arrival kind of on the same sides. Landing already, yes, but this is only our first of 3 legs. We have got 2 more flights after this, so we're not quite done just yet. A little bit above the glide slope, so we'll adjust for that. Flaps down for landing. There we go. Nice and steady. A little bit of a cross drag there. There you go. Welcome to Colonsay. It's Islay. Isla. Welcome to Isla. We're definitely at Isla now. Right, it's going to cut the landing lights. Use taxi. Get rid of the strobe lights. Go taxi to the well, it's not really a terminal building, it's just kind of just a car park at the sides. So we'll park up there and then make our way back to the runway for our second leg. Yes, well, it is another runway. I think it's no longer in use. Nope, that one is in use. So there's a runway in use there, 26. That's the runway there, currently out of action. There's 3 runways here at Colonsay. One out of use. One of them kind of a converted taxiway runway. And you've got one main runway, which is aircraft landed and out of. Right, so going to loop around now. Bring it back. Hold the aircraft there. Parking brakes set. And cut the engines. We can now cut the fuel valves, cut the magnetos, and that brings the aircraft to our first stop. So, welcome to Isla. We'll open the doors so that we can now have a stretch of our legs and all that. We can deboard the aircraft. Also, I'll open up this door because the passengers are now board from this side. And so our next leg, we see a total of 2 passengers on board the aircraft. So we'll end the flight now, stop the recording so you can watch the replay afterwards. We'll save the flights on Volanta, so complete that now. I'm going to need to change that to GeForce. Change flight numbers later. Right, so let's prepare ourselves for our second leg, shall we? Yeah, there's a lot of fun this aircraft, a lot of fun these flights. Again, the guys at Hebridean, massive credits to them. Very catering for this trip. So, we've deboarded, let's end the flight and have the reports. So, 307 Islander from Oban to... we have some of the beacon lights, whoops. Beacon lights. So, 26 minutes flight time, planned departure was 9:45 by 9:38, planned arrival 25:05, 1 passenger, night satisfaction, landing rate 154, block time of 37. Extreme flying conditions, head of schedule, soft landing. Okay, flying's a bit extreme, but I can tell you now in real life, if it was extreme flying, I'd have loved it even more. Right, so let's prepare our second leg now, shall we? So we're going to change our airports. Going to go from Papa India to go to flight plan Echo Yankee. So Isla to Colonsay. We're going to board the next leg of our flight, start flight with 2 passengers on board, so change you and you. 307 9000, so say 3000. Flight time, this one is approximately 20 minutes for duration, so 20 minutes set. And the departure expected in approximately, well, I'd say 10 to, so 8 minutes. Flying the Britten-Norman Islander. This one has approximately 2 passengers on board. No Wi-Fi, no entertainment, no boarding music, have a safe briefing for Hebridean, which is just blank. Don't get snacks, don't get a meal service. And there comes our second set of passengers. So again, only 2 on board. Kind of one was there, so you go sit wherever you want, that's fine. Perfect. So, jump back into the cockpit. We'll secure the aeroplane, make sure all the exits are closed. So you come shut. This door comes shut. We will close our door now, but leave the window open. We're going to, so that's all set, Bring these back up to the top, the prop. So my flaps are up. Going to activate the beacon lights to alert people around that we are ready for engine starts. Do a quick check around, make sure that both props are clear. We'll do a shout for clear prop, and then sets the fuel pump and right hand valve on, magneto number 2, and starts to the starboard. Again, leave filter about 10%, just keep the aircraft steady. Pressure should be in the green. We've just used the engines 2 seconds ago. Yes, that he has. So activates number 1 magneto, number 2 fuel valve and fuel pump, number 2 magneto, and starts the port side. Everything's stable. Start the magneto again. We'll cut the 2 fuel pumps. Alright, all looking good. So, I'm going to release the parking brake now. I'll set the taxi lights, which is that one. Release the parking brake. Let's go back to the runway for takeoff number 2. So, I'm going to take off from the opposite side we landed on. It's going to take us back over the beach for our second leg. The speed on FlightControlReplay is much better, I think now. Not perfect, but it is much better than it used to be. So our flight leg for this trip is estimated at about 10 minutes. It's going to be a lot less than that. Sorry, 20 minutes, but it's going to be much shorter than that. That's out of my head, Danny Robot. So in reality, there's a lot more to check in regards to the make sure aircraft systems are all fully checked and set. But like I said, I'm not super advanced with the Islander. It's kind of essentially what I remember from tutorials and all that. I'm kind of going with it. But there's nothing I've done today which is inherently incorrect for the aircraft setup. Not too bad, Owen. Not too bad. How are you doing? Welcome, channel. Welcome to the chat. How are you today? Welcome, Elmas. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. How are you today? Good morning, Oggy. How are you doing? Welcome channel, welcome to chats. Nice one, Zide. How's the landing at your flight today? How's your landing in Hong Kong? Crescent Train ATC and I out, Nordic region. Hey, Wally. Absolutely, dude. If you get your own stuff into ATC, we'll facade and fly with you. So we're not going to need the full length of the runway here. If we enter to the right, that should be more than enough for us to take off on. Right. Throttle up to 2000 RPM. 1 and 2 looking stable. Off we go. Speed green. 80 knots, rotates. So we're going to come to about 3,000 feet for our second leg. Adjust the trim for a steady rate of climb. Flaps up. Oops, there we go. Nice and steady. Perfect. So our next stop, Colonsay. Gonna make a right hand turn now. Oh yeah, it's a grand little aircraft, this the MAK. It's a grand little aircraft, this the Islander. Thoroughly enjoying it so far. Although I have noted whenever I fly GA flights and prop aircraft, my view counts doesn't get nearly as high as when I fly jetliners, so obviously people aren't quite as interested in these things. Which, fair enough, everyone does, well I guess most people do prefer their jetliners, but it's a nice change of scene this in the Islander. Nice change of scene, you get low and slow on this kind of scenery, which is absolutely fantastic. So we'll probably do a bit of a mix. We'll definitely fly the Islander a few more times in the future, as it is just a grand little aircraft. Colonsay. Colonsay. And it's not Islay, it's Islay. Islay, Colonsay. I'm going to reduce the throttle now. That's about 2000 RPM. So on from Oban, it's pretty cool to see. Ah, whereabouts are you from Oban, Mo? I was there on Wednesday and Thursday. Did the so I went up on Thursday through Wednesday through Glasgow. Went up to the McKaig's Tower to watch the sunset. In fact, let me try and see if I've got a video of the sunset, because it is truly fantastic from top of McKaig's. It's been on the Wednesday. There we go. So this is on the Wednesday from top of McKaig's Tower. This is a beautiful little harbour town. Absolutely adore this place. I'll be back again soon. I'll certainly be back again soon. Did I try any seafood? I tried that fish and chip shop, not the one on the harbour, but the famous one that has the claim of Gordon Ramsay and the other. It's Gordon Ramsay, Gino D'Acampo, and that other chef I can't remember the name of. They have the claim that they're the best in town. So I had that, but that was about it really, because I wasn't there for super long. Oban, well, one night. And I did a SEAL trip, did a flight with Hebridean. Absolutely adore this place. Like I said, I'll be back again soon. Norries, that's the one, yes. That's the one. It's pretty like that place where all the locals don't like it, and it's like a touristy building, that kind of stuff. You get those everywhere. Like there's a restaurant in every town which you go to, which all the tourists love and adore, But in reality, the locals think it's like the worst in the city. But yeah, their fish and chips are good actually. I did thoroughly enjoy that. The Norris fish and chips. The batter, actually, I don't know what they do to the batter or their fish, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'll be back again soon. Should do on hopping out of Orkney Islands. Yes, I know about West Australia to Papa West Australia Stewarts. What aircraft? They fly a twin on that trip. I'll double check. They change it every so often. I think it's good because if you know the area, it's more fun. But if you don't know the area, you can imagine less interest in that. It's true, very true, Danny. A lot of it also comes down to the interest of the local area. For example, the fact that there's now a very low fog right over the island we're heading to. So hopefully we'll be able to spot the runway from there. This is Logan Air Islander. Okay, right, well, in that case, we will probably definitely do that at some point. We'll have a whole stream dedicated to West Australia, Papa West Australia. If you're lucky, I might even do a return route. No, Summit, there's no stream later today, I'm not working. Did I make sure to have newspaper wrapper on the fish and fries? Yes, it was boxed, but with a layer of paper on top. You're not at maybe in a moment, you're on holiday, flying to Basel. Okay, 5,000 feet descent rate. What, is that the approach into Basel, really? If it is, then, well, I'm doing that tomorrow. I'm going to book that ticket right now for that descent rate. Yeah, I'm using a stick, Vims, I'm using a stick. The Thrustmaster Hotas Warthog. We're actually a little bit higher than I anticipated to be, so I'll have to come back onto that in a moment. Yeah, hopefully we'll actually get some sort of visibility into the airports. That's not problematic, but again, I'd quite like to be able to see the runway we're landing into. Hotel Bravo. I'll check that out in a bit, Mohit. Absolutely. Yes, NASA, if you look at my chair video, that one has my setup in its latest form. Welcome future, welcome Alex, how you doing? Welcome channel, welcome to chat, how are you today? Yeah, I'm going to cut some of this altitude now because we're definitely a bit higher than I'd like to have been on this trip. I hope the fog clears up in the next like 10 minutes because the scenery on the departure out of Colonsay is absolutely stunning. Yeah, we'll also make more use of the passenger views. We'll probably do that for the replays later on. Have a look at them from the passenger's perspective, aka what I was looking at on Thursday. Yeah, video coming very soon. I've got a proper vlog recorded. I'm a bit annoyed because my intro, the camera zoom in is all over the place, so I'm going to have to kind of fix that somehow. But I'll work it out. I might just have kind of splice one intro into another and then kind of edit it from there. Because while the first intro I've got, the information was wrong, so I re-recorded it with the correct information, so we'll work it out. Worst case scenario, I go back to Oban just to re-record my intro. That'd be a day trip in itself. I'll fly in the morning, go to the airport, record an intro, and then head back down to the sleeper or something. Planes bit your local airports, hotel. Yes, because they still build them, don't they? The Islanders. They're all still built to this day. It's a rugged little aircraft, the Islander. Had a very long service life and still growing as well. He friends on the Isle of Cole so that they would fly in this for school on Monday and fly home on Friday. Okay. Interesting. Because I know because the airline itself for Hebridean Air Services was 1990 something, but in 2009 got brought into the Air Task Group. So Air Task Group own Hebridean Air Services, and then the airline itself has a fleet of just the one aircraft, this one, Hotel Echo Bravo Sierra, but in the past it had a second aircraft as well, Hotel Echo Bravo Oscar, Hebo. So it had HEBS and Hebo. Hebo was sold off, HEBS they've kept. Yeah, the visibility of this approach is going to be quite interesting, I can tell you now. Hopefully we'll have the airport in sights, but we'll keep an eye out for that for the approach. I mean, I'm not the most familiar with the airfields in the world, but I'm going to have to say it's about there-ish. Oh yeah, runway's in sight. There it is. It's just outside the fog. We should be alright for the approach today. That's one. Yeah, runway's in sight. We're good to go. You love the Islander, picked up all the local liveries, and love flying these islands. Absolutely, yeah, William, absolutely. It's a fantastic little aircraft, the Islander. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. Psychogen, how you doing? Welcome back. It's been a while, man. It has been a while. Hope you're keeping yourself well these days. Step set for landing. Nice and steady. So our first landing rate was around 150. Let's see if we try and make this one a little bit smoother for our second attempt, second leg. Shorter runway here at Colonsay, but all tarmacs, all the runways that Hebridean Air fly to, apart from some of the charter ones, for example Barra, the main airports, they're all tarmacs. But hey, I can fully claim that I've been to the same airports, or I've been on the same aircraft that Tom Scott has been on, because he flew one of these, he chartered it out to Barra. So Tom Scott himself was on board this very aeroplane, and so was I. Because actually, it was another video I watched a couple of days ago. I can't remember the guy's name. I have to kind of find out again. But it was like, yeah, the video's called like Scotland's We Scottish Airline, the Scottish small airline, stuff like that. Scotland's wee airline with only one aircraft, and so he flew it out into some of the Northern Ireland. I think it went to Collie, went to Altieri, but yeah, that's how I found out at the airport or the airline, and booked it on an impulse buy. There we go. Welcome to Colonsay. Just as the fog is starting to build. Now, I've got scenery to the airports as well, and I can say the scenery so far at the Hebridean airport's looking very good, very lifelike compared to their real-life counterparts. So we're going to loop the aircraft around and then face the other way, ready for our departure. That'll do. Parking brake sets and engines cuts. Sceneries, got flights not 2, Danny. They're all freeware sceneries. Flights not 2. Whoops, they did the flaps. So there we go. Welcome to our second of 3 destinations. We're going to quickly cut the lights again. So cut the landing lights, strobe lights, beacon lights. They come off. We're going to open the door, give passengers their room to move, and then prepare ourselves for our third and final leg. Thank you, Alan, for coming to sponsor. Thank you very much, dude. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. You are a star. Welcome to... I'll save class that. Give it a second. Hopefully it loads. Please chat catch up while we still got the aircraft for its landing. Economy class. Welcome to economy class, dude. Thank you very much. You're a start. Right, so we've landed. Aircraft's all secure. Passengers can have their stretched their legs. I'm going to stop the replay now. We're going to pop open PACX. Going to end our flights. There we go. Brighton 07 Islander. Papa India to Echo Yankee, 40-minute flight time, planned departure 19, planned hard 16, planned arrival 39, we landed at 31, 2 passengers, 96 satisfaction, 124 landing rate, with flight time of 20 minutes. So again, very popular flight that, passengers are quite happy. We're now going to start boarding for our final leg, which is approximately, well, it was whoops, not a Concorde. It's definitely not a Concorde. It had 7 passengers on board if I remember, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 passengers. 1, 2, 3, 4, me, 5, 6. Yes, 6 passengers on board that flight. Empty seats, empty seat, empty seat. 9, 8, 7. Yeah. Was it 6 or 7? There was 1 behind me. And then 2, yeah, so no, it was 7 because there's 1 behind me and 2 on the back row as well. So 7 passengers in total. Again, cruise about 3,000. The flight time today on this leg is 25 minutes. And departure is 35. So we'll say, again, no more than 10 minutes really. So we'll say 14. 2 Islander, 7 passengers. Let's get boarding, shall we? No Wi-Fi, no entertainment, no boarding music. You've got no safe briefing, so going for the blank. No snacks, no meals. iCows. Right, so we're landing at Echo Oscar. It's Papa. No, it's Echo Yankee taking off from. Right, that's set. Perfect. So passengers boarding. Yeah, as you see, because PACX doesn't understand that this is a right-hand seat next to the pilot. It'll sit someone there, but in reality, it'll be the rear seats that will fill up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So while I do that, So, quick check of fuel. In terms of fuel, we've burned about... we've burned nothing today. Absolutely nothing. Whoops, they can all come off as well. Forgot to do that as part of the shutdown checklist. Right, so, passengers have boarded. We will secure the aircraft now, so close all the doors. That one... oh, I click spots, there you go. That one closes. That one closes. Close the captain's door, open the window. We'll push the levers back into their max position. So that was about 10%. And let's start the engine, shall we? So, engine 2, fuel pump, fuel valve, magneto 2, and start. Engine stable. We'll cut the fuel pumps and start number 1. Fuel valve pump. So magneto comes on. Number 2 magneto. Port side. Engine stable. Magneto 1. Close that. Cuts the fuel pump. And there you go. Engines once again up and running. It does auto line, yes. It does auto line the artificial horizon. And so with the engines not running, there's no air in the system, and therefore the whole thing just drops. But when you start the aircraft up, it resets into central, and that will be your basis for the flights. Right, close the window. Activates the taxi lights. Make sure you can say all in the green, all in the green, all in the green. That's fine, 1000 RPM both engines. Both engines are active and stable. Right, let's get going, shall we? Parking brake released, flaps into the takeoff position, and let's go taxi to the end of the runway. So this is our third and final leg now. Return to our base at Oban. We'll be there no more than 25 minutes. Yes, scientists, I do plan to do a Flyby tutorial very soon, especially now that we have it releasing on console as of 27th, so hopefully I'll get a tutorial done very soon for that. Activates the landing lights. How am I feeling about the Phoenix 320? Very good for Baltic Mo hits, very good. It's looking like a very good aircraft so far, and so hopefully on release it'll be just as good as we've been seeing it promotion-wise. I mean, with another A320 in the market, it means there's going to be a lot more competition as well as push the flyby quality. Both aircraft will do well to kind of keep each other at a standard and push the level detail up, so should be good. Should be very, very good indeed. Right, so engine up to 2000 RPM. 1 and 2 stable. Off we go. Airspeed live. 80 knots, rotates. And so as per our takeoff, what we're now going to do is make a right hand bank and fly low and slow over the cliffside to our right. Not today, Jackson. Not today. The airports I'm flying to will not be able to handle the traffic that that flight brings. So just offline today, nice and dedicated to flying. Probably not Burko. Probably not for X-Plane. Not many developers work on both platforms at the same time. Phoenix is going to be dedicated to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The scenery is not quite as grand in Microsoft Flight Sims as I would have liked in real life. I'll show you a video of what I was looking at in real life, kind of like a sneak preview of the vlog I'm going to do. But yeah, the cliff side's not quite up to scratch. I think it's because the lot of resolution of the cliffs here aren't quite up to scratch. I mean, it looks good, but it's not quite real life looking good. Let me get a video up quickly of the actual takeoff in real life we did. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. This was real life. In comparison when it loads. Yeah, sorry Microsoft Flight Simulator, you look good, but you're not quite real life good for this occasion. Still, very pretty nonetheless. Oh yes, the real life islands are Oban, of course they are. Otherwise they wouldn't be in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not flying that much faster, Danny. Not flying that much faster at all. Because in reality, the flight, all three flights, we took off early, we landed early. So while our scheduled arrival time was at 16:45, in reality we landed, I can get a time up as well actually of our landing time. Let me get the landing time for landing. So 16:45 was our scheduled arrival back into Oban. We landed... Thursday. Uh, 16:08 actually. No. 16:31. So we landed about 15 minutes early. 15 minutes early. So we departed at 16:08. We should be departed at. Takeoff was 08. So yeah, we should have departed at 20 past. We took off at 8 past. All flights were early as per their routing. Also, I've changed the overlay, didn't I? There we go. And we're shooting for an hour and 22 minutes now, so actually it's quite an accurate depiction of time. What we're doing. So yeah, back to runway 19 at Oban now. Back to runway 19. Enjoying the stream, think about the aircraft you like to short on hopping, just so much long haul. Oh yeah, it is worth it, Alan. I mean, if the negatives of the aircraft, let's say, there are negatives. It's not perfect. So for example, switches don't have a click sound effects. The level of detail, okay, the cockpit looks pretty good, but if you look into the cabin, it gets a bit I don't know, textures do drop a little bit, but again, not terrible. And again, it's just small details that the aircraft doesn't have. It looks good, it flies good, but it's not like a super high resolution 8K aircraft, you know what I mean? It does the job, it does it well, but it's not study level, it's not kind of, again, it's not overpowered of its level of detail, but even then, it's still a more than fine aircraft to fly. And so yeah, I do recommend the Blackbox aircraft, Blackbox Britten-Norman Islander BN-2. Scenery for looks. Oh yeah, the scenery is absolutely fantastic. So you've got the bridge over the that connects Connel to North Connel. It also includes the McCaig Tower for Oban. So yeah, the scenery for Oban on Flight 2 is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommended. Actually, I'm probably going to feature it in my freeware series coming up this week because it is just that good. So I'll do that. A few other airports as well. Problem with the aircraft though, I'm actually running out of freeware aircraft to review. At least ones that isn't just a cockpit merge and slap it all together. So hopefully we'll do it again soon. Not sure, Lewis. I mean, I fly the Airbus pretty much every single week, so I'm taking a short break from the Airbus, I think. Try and do a long haul soon. We'll see how it goes, and then yeah, fly a bit more, I guess. Yeah, the scenery really is some of the prettiest I've ever seen in real life. It's an absolute joy to fly through, and again, Hebridean Air Service, very good little company to fly with. Their crew very approachable, very easy to talk to, and very catering too. Very catering too. Thank you, guy at the base who gave me a glass of water when I was waiting for boarding. Mita Kulo, hi man, how are you today? Welcome channel, welcome to the chat, Moy. Saw a documentary about this plane routes. Yes, I probably watched the same video as you, hi man, actually, so I watched that video I watched about a week ago. I then booked the flights the next day because I was just that like, it was like, this is amazing, I must fly it. So yes, in fact, let me drop a video link to the video that I watched about this airline, Scotland's Wee Airline. It was this video here by Steve Marsh, Scotland's Wee Airline with one aeroplane. There it is. Whoops. There's GeForce. Yeah, he's a local, so he's got all the local knowledge. For me, it was just flying around, having a bit of fun. Cooler, that was one I saw, yes. Wish I'd lived a little closer. Yeah, I do adore Finland. I know there are a few airlines that operate kind of like routes between. I'm gonna have to ask my friends. He did a flight on like a Hawker Siddeley with some Finnish airline. Helsinki. So he went from. Where did he go? He went from Helsinki. So he took a train from Helsinki to. It's not Tampere, it's the other place. Turku. From Turku, he took the flight up north, took a train through Tampere to another airport, and then flew back down south to Helsinki. I'll have to ask about the routes. I'm going to try and do that one day. Again, another one that went through a couple of small places. One airport I'd love to fly to is Lappeenranta. I've been to Lappeenranta a couple of times now. Spent in total like a month there. In fact, I have flown. I just did it at night with Ryanair from Milan. I'd love to like a local route at some points. find a pilot out there who flies a Cessna or something and join them on board. It's a beautiful country, Finland. I'd love to return soon. Welcome, Untitled. How you doing? Welcome channel, welcome chat. How you doing today, dude? How you doing? The only that's FlyLive is connected to mainland by a bridge, so it's literally a bridge over the Atlantic. This one. Not this one. One of those ones. Is that an island? No, it's connected. Which island? Do you have the name of it? You live close to the Voss airport. Nice to that basis in the sim. Check flights not 2. There might be a freeware for Voss actually. I think there is. You'd have to double check. It's getting a little bit bumpy now, a little bit of turbulence, which to be fair, we did have on the return leg. And then landing, not too far now, just a couple of minutes away. Bridge Atlantic is to Carlisle. Really? Carlisle? I'm sure again, another I'm probably really horribly butchering the name of. Cheers, Lewis. I'm glad you enjoyed the watch. I'm glad you enjoyed the watch. Thank you very much for the kind words. The big island in Oban Harbour to Guerrera. Oh yes, no, I think I know which one about now. I think I know which one you're talking about now, yes. Sorry, I'm just kind of remembering my geography from a couple of days ago. Seal Isle. Not on Web-Eye today, riskless. We're not on IVAL today. Mainly because the airports we're flying to just won't be able to handle the traffic of 50 737s flying alongside my little islander. So yeah, not today. We'll do our IVAL flights next time. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of turbulence, Danny. We've got plenty of turbulence on board. Not massively, but you do get a bit of a breeze, and in an aircraft like this, you do feel it. But like I say, I always like turbulence. It's a bit of an adrenaline rush. Keeps you moving, keeps you going. And then again, the Islander, some more than capable aircrafts. It's a very fine job at getting you from A to B. There's a nice wee town called Easdale on it. There's a nice wee off-road Segway course. Gear shots like the plane really off. Oh yeah, I mean it's all static gear. I press the G key I want, not going to move anywhere. It's a fun little aircraft, the Islander. I mean, if you ever get an opportunity to fly it, I highly recommend it because from the back it feels like any normal commercial aircraft in that the seats are comfy, you got a bit of leg room, bit of space. In fact, one thing that you can do in the aircraft is lower the seats, give you more leg room. They did that on my first leg when it was an empty aircraft. Keep the seats down, more leg room, not more comfortable. But it's a lot more comfy than you think it is. There, go back over Oban again. And I believe that right there is the seal colony. It's like a little bit of rock in the water that the seals live on. Took a boat trip out to that. Yeah, there's your railway station. There's your lakefront. There's your harbour. There's the PACX tower. That's a swimming pool, I believe. And then somewhere over here is like a Lidl and a Tesco and another supermarket as well. But it's very picturesque little town, this. Absolutely adored it here. There's no alternatives banning it, I'm afraid. PACX pay aware, self-loading cargoes pay aware, Luke Air Tools freeware. There's no other tools, I'm afraid. There was FS Passengers, that was pay aware, but that's only for FSX and older versions of P3D. I'm afraid, dude, there's not much else. Did I check out the distillery? Yes, I did. In Oban, yes, I did. It's a very fascinating little place. I mean, there's so many distilleries in the islands as well. It's crazy. But yeah, I did. Very fun little place. Although one place I didn't get to check out was the War and Peace Museum. They have got one in Oban. Problem is my timing never matched up because I had on Thursday I went up to the airport in a boat trip. On the Wednesday I was kind of more to the south of the town, so I never really got to go to there. So I'll be back again soon, and I'll be sure to check out the War and Peace Museum that I have. Right, so that there I believe is the airport. Yes. Just going to fly a little bit beyond the airport, loop around, and bring the aircraft into land. That's one. I wonder if I can do that. Yes, I can. That's set for landing. Increase throttle. Nice and steady. There we go. Touchdown. And there we have it. Welcome back to Oban. Just going to loop back around. This aircraft has autopilot AVGeek, but it is mainly manual. It has autopilots, but it's only really a heading selector and altitude hold, pretty much. The runway also always has seashells blown onto the wind occasionally by seagulls. Aw, poor little crustaceans being crushed under the wheels of the aircraft on board. Right, let's kill the landing lights and strobes. Kill that. What's that? Someone's birthday. Go away. I'll wish them a happy birthday later. In fact, they just got engaged. Actually, congrats to them. So why have we stopped? There we go. Yeah, talk about the captain aircraft. This is the same price. Same price, much better, much more enjoyable. Right, half position, parking brake sets. There we go, let's cut the engine, shall we? And there we go. Welcome back to Oban. Open all the exits. Allow everyone to disembark. And then make our way back home to the terminal. So let's end the flight on Volanta. There's a little squiggly map of our route today. So departed from Oban, took this path down to Islay. Then we took off, flew across into Colonsay, and took off again. Met back with our route to departure, looped in, back into land at Oban. Final little route that, not a particularly difficult one to do. We'll end the flight on PACX. Passengers will have disembarked by now. It's very nearly out. There we go. End the flight after the report. HBR 307 Islander, Echo Yankee to Echo Oscar. 18-minute flight time. Planned departure 49, planned 40. Planned arrival 14. We landed at 58. 7 passengers, no satisfaction. 164. Lot time of 24 minutes. So yeah, overall a very 3 very successful flights. What I'm going to do now is, well, I don't need to disconnect from my bad today because we aren't connected. I'll finish recording the replays. We'll quickly close all the exits just in case they don't close automatically on the replays. And let's have a look at the replay, shall we? So, we'll do the first landing. We'll do Islay. We'll give the scenery a second or two just to load. There we go. So, let's enjoy some passenger view landing, shall we? In our little BN Islander. Continue plane, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right, actually, I should be doing that straight away. Blackbox Islander MSFS. There you go. This here is the aircraft. It's available on the Blackbox website, but it is absolutely fantastic. Built in the 1960s, still built to this day. It's a very successful little iron-topping aircraft. This particular one aircraft, HEBS, built in 1994. Welcome, Levi. How you doing? Welcome to chat. How are you today? Leaving the background now. Got a clean garage. How you flying, enjoy streams? Yeah, cheers, Highway Man. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the watch. Worth the money? Absolutely, absolutely. Any issues it has are very, very minor, but it's an aircraft that you can fly for hours on end and thoroughly enjoy every second of it. So yeah, how was that for a touchdown? Absolutely beautiful. Cheers, Levi. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. Yes, very excited about the FPS boost on 27th, and also with it releasing on console. It means that we, because it'll be cross-platform multiplayer, so multiplayer especially will be a lot busier, especially useful for when we do our group flights, I think. So we'll definitely get some more enjoyment out of that. Let's have a look from the right-hand side. So lower of the coast, into the airport boundary. And touchdown. No Cathay Pacific, probably not. Right. So yeah, you can see the speed replay on the FCR much better than it used to be. Nice and steady approach. The beach scenery here fantastic. Low over the runway. Okay, not the most stable of touchdowns, but hey ho, we have landed. That's what matters. Are you talking about the Captain Sim 777 Levi, or just the 777 in general? So, that was our first landing. Let's load up in Colonsay. Let's have got our second landing. Let's do left hand side first. So yeah, nice and steady approach over the well, I say a harbour, it's more of a cove, that small beach cove, but nice and steady approach. Runway's not all that far away. Do I just like Piper PA-28? No, I don't, Oscar. I am looking at it, but I don't own it at this point in time. Welcome, Vin, and how are you doing? Welcome to Channel's Chats. How are you today? How are you doing? So passing through about 500 feet now. And just spot the tops of the trees down below. As most of the islands are not flat, to get an airport even to any of these islands does take a lot of work to kind of get a flat bit of ground, make sure it's steady, and then build your runway on top of it, and then all your facilities around it. But for an aircraft like the Islander, the construction of it's very rigid, very stable, makes it for a great island hopping aircraft. No, Levi, I don't recommend the 777 in Microsoft Flight Sim. The Captain Sim is an absolute joke. Do not recommend. Do not. Right, here we go. Over the runway. And touchdown. Even that gear animation, the way the suspension works as well, is so good. Almost too good. Too good. Too close to real life. Right, let's have a look at the replay from the right hand sides. Super graphics. It's very similar in real life. In fact, let me try and get the real life video of this landing. I think I actually got one from this exact point of view. Where is it? It's the landing for this one. So you watched this landing. No, I recorded it from the cockpits, didn't I? Do I have the other video? GoPro footage somewhere. Soft landing. Did I not do one? Must have done. So there you go, lower the runway. And then touchdown. I think this is the video I'm looking for. It's a very short video for some reason, 16 seconds long. I think it combines with that one because of the size limits. This is... Oh, there you go, yeah. So, this is the real life approach and landing from this island. Again, little preview into the video I'm going to do, the vlog. Although I might not use the footage in full, so you want to look at it. But yeah, this is the approach in real life, looking from pretty much the same angle as the other one. As he flaps down for landing. Some crazy flaps in this aircraft. It's almost like a flat block by the end of it. But again, you really got that airspeed low for the sake of actually be able to land these short runways. So pay our aircraft come fly with me simulations. Pay our aircraft, €23. So there you go, that's the real life landing. You can see in this occasion you actually use the full length of the runway as opposed to halfway down it. Right, let's do it from the external point of view. Again, my sense lines in this thing could be worked, but hey ho. Performs much worse landings in bigger aircraft, so I'm not gonna fuss it. You say your trips home in the Islander, love seeing it in the sim. Trust me, dude, if you took your trips home in the Islander, you must have had a very good working life or school life. I'd have loved to take this on a daily basis. But I can imagine, not the cheapest, and this, well, it would have been Hebridean or would have been whoever, kind of like a scheduled regular ticket for flights common. There you go, there's your touchdown. Who doesn't like it, Danny? I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't know anyone who's given it a really bad review. Most reviews I've seen for it have been pretty positive again. It's not... There are some little bits of detailing that could be improved, but it's not a bad aircraft by any means. And let's talk about the Captain Sim. And the Captain Sim, definitely not worth it. Yeah, the Islander, I think it's pretty good at aircraft, this. There you go, nice and steady over the approach. Not the most straight approach, you kind of curve into it, but there you go. Let's have that little caravan park down below. Nice and steady, nice and stable. Talking about the Captain Sim, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, this one I think is pretty good. That's what I'm saying. I've seen a few reviews of this, and while I think the general gist of it is, it's not perfect, but you'll have a good time. You'll have a good time flying it. And there you go. There's our third and final touchdown. It's our return to Oban. Let's bring it back. Have a look from the right hand sides. Well, it does. I'm trying to find the landing video for this one. It's going to be this, I think. Yes, that one. And I have a cockpit view as well, actually. Whoops, go away, Firefox. Yeah, watch the position of the runway. That is key for the landing in the Islander, on this approach at least. I'm going to go back to photos to Google. Yeah, it's kind of a similar view. There you go, short approaching. Keep the aircraft steady. And touchdown. I would, Geek, I would recommend it. Very good at the aircraft. Takes a bit of practice to kind of get it all going, but very much worth it. Yes, Vihan, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator. So here's the landing in real life from a similar perspective. So again, keep an eye on position of the runway, kind of how it... So there's the trailer park down there. And then there's the as we kind of went to right and turn, just watch as the runway comes into view as we stabilise for the approach. And there it is. And here's the same landing, but from an ever so slightly point of view. There's a few salmon farms down there. So yeah, make a right hand turn. This way we're then kind of just looking down, directly down at the beach below. There's a caravan park, trailer park. Loop on in. And down to land. So if you get an experienced flight aircraft, take it. Hebridean Air Services, highly recommend them. A fantastic little airline. And there you go, touchdown. It's a fantastic airline, operated by passionate people. Probably one of the best flight experiences I've had in a little while. This actually, very personal experience. Not that when you're flying with 7 passengers. Can't really have a personal experience in that. In fact, now we'll do this cam, I think. The position's all wrong, isn't it? Okay, we'll work it out. So let's do that. Actually, no, won't do that. We'll do that. Yeah, that's more like it. So as we make this right hand turn, the aircraft kind of sitting around with us. I don't know, Netherlands domestic flights? Yeah, no, to be fair, it's not really the longest country in the world, so you're not going to get too much fire out of it. At least for the UK, we have common travel area, and so we have got quite a bit for us to explore. Netherlands, you are right, it's not really a domestic haven for aircrafts. Take your own around, not really a flight. There you go, short approach in, over the tops of the trees. Over the fuel depot and into land. Welcome, Bird and Bear, how you doing? Welcome channel, welcome back dude, it's been a while. There you go. Couple of flights in the Hebridean Islander. So yeah, that brings us now to the end of our stream today. I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed this. The aircraft's fantastic, the islands are fantastic, the scenery, some very good sceneries online for these airports, so I highly recommend you have a look at these. Otherwise, yeah, thank you all very much for watching, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you again in the very near future for some more flight sim action. But yes, Blackbox Islander, highly recommended. You'll have a good time, you'll have a good time. Take care guys, and have a good one. Island's great, aircraft short island hopping, but especially like short trips, but a bit noisy on takeoff, controls fairly responsive. Yes, it's not exactly great for wind, but it's a very capable aircraft for these kinds of trips, absolutely. Alright. Oh yes, also, thank you for the local knowledge as well. Without you guys, it had been Oban, Hebridean, Islay and Colonsay throughout. So no, it's Hebridean, so it's Oban, Hebridean, Islay and Colonsay. Gonna have fun dubbing my video later. Right, bye bye.